So then you came back and settled into life on the farm. How did you adjust to farm life? What was your role?
It was difficult when I first started. When we first were married, we had no mains electricity, and it was only for quite a short time. There's a generator down the yard, and of course they used the generator for milking in the morning, and I couldn't put the kettle on for breakfast until they finished milking because the generator wasn't powerful enough for an electric kettle and for the milking machines. And it was, we were quite cosy in our little mobile home. It had a separate bedroom at the end, and I used to, first of all, I used to help a little bit. I used to feed lambs and feed calves, and once he said to me, well, they were still lambing outdoors quite a lot at that time, where you just built the one small lambing shed, but still lambing outdoors.
Well, I suppose the first lambing shed just down here in 1967, anyway.
And he said to me, go round the sheep and, see if any of them are lambing. Well, I went round the sheep and I got no idea what I was looking for, so they could have been lambing, they could have been doing anything. I wouldn't know. But I showed willing, and hopefully everything was all right. But of course Gladys was still there at that time, and it wasn't until later on, was it, that I started doing the providing of food and meals to workmen and things like that. And I was very proud once because I don't know why this chap was there, but he came from Yorkshire. He wasn't a workman of ours, but he must have been working on the farm of some capacity. Yeah. And I'd made roast beef and Yorkshire pudding.
I was the one that put in the first milking machine, wasn't I?
Yeah, but he was very complimentary about my Yorkshire puddings, which I was very proud of. Yeah, that was a main role. They rose beautifully, and to have a compliment about my Yorkshire puddings from a Yorkshire man meant quite a lot at the time. And Arthur bought me my first cookery book, which I was quite insulted about, really. I can't remember the title, I've still got it, and it was like The Housekeeping Beginner's Guide to Cookery or something, as if I didn't know anything about it. And he had told me at one time that I'm not going to be living out of tins. I thought, well, I don't live out of tins. Why should you be living out of tins? But I suppose he perhaps didn't realise that just because you lived in the town and you couldn't get all the fresh produce, perhaps you didn't live quite as well as you could have if you were living somewhere else. But I did know how to cook before we were married.
So I should hope.